All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is plant number 7, your Savannah Holly. As you can see, we're just off Silas Creek. We're just down the street from campus. We're in the Burlington Coat Factory parking lot. Beautiful plant. As you can see, the different leaf that is on this plant, kind of smooth around the edges. But come and take a sample here in the parking lot. As you can see it from a distance, they are all in the parking lot. This is your Savannah Holly. And I want you to notice the one thing about the tree here, guys. This should have been taken care of in the nursery. We have dual stems or dual trunks coming out. Not a safe thing for this tree. It's eventually going to kill it, and as you can see, we're starting to rub inside the branches. They're actually growing together. If you were to cut that out, that would leave a space for fungus and everything to get in. So it should have been taken care of at the nursery, or at least the landscape contractor should have taken that out. But that is plant number 7, your Savannah Holly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm right outside of the facilities here at Forsyth Tech, and there's 2 plants that you're going to be able to get samples for. One is your Japanese Akuba, and we have one here. Remember the pictures that you've seen on the lecture? This is your Japanese Akuba. I'm going to step back a ways, and we talked about in the lecture that this plant likes a little bit of shade, and so it's able to get it right here. There's also the gold dust Akuba right here. So this is your Japanese Akuba. You can get it right outside of the maintenance facility here at Forsyth Tech. As you're driving down Oak Grove Road, you've got your Japanese Akuba, you've got the gold dust, and then you've got just the plain old Japanese Akuba. Not plain, because I like it. And look, wow, you can still see fruit on it, guys. That is amazing. So come and get you some samples down here. Now, I do want to show you another plant, just because it's on campus. Now, I like showing you plants off-site as well, but I know it's difficult for you guys to get to some of these other places, but I want to show you the American Holly. That is your Alex opaca. That is your American Holly. Remember in the lecture I said the plant looks like a tick? Well, there you go. So you've got 2 plants right here in front of the maintenance facility, right off of Oak Grove Drive, and we are directly down the hill from the new tech building and the welding shops and machining over there. So good stuff here on campus at Forsyth Tech. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to show you where you have your Japanese Camellia. And we are right beside the Almond Center and next to the library. But check out those leaves and those buds. This is your Camellia japonica, your Japanese Camellia. Remember in the lecture, it talks about the different size leaf and that you would still see buds. These guys are getting ready to open up. It's your spring Camellia. These things will be beautiful here in a few weeks. And look at the height. And as you can see, one has already opened up. One has already opened up. We've had enough warm days that that's happening. So guys, when you're on campus, I want you to pay close attention to this plant right here. Look at the height. I'm gonna walk a little bit backwards so you can see how proportionate it is to the building. Just an amazing group of shrubs right here, and these things are about ready to be on fire. Remember in the lecture too, I talked about pink up against red brick. It doesn't pop as well if the building was painted white or if they'd have used a white blooming plant right here. So check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just down from the spring camellia, we have your Foster Holly. Huge. This thing's been here for decades, but it's easy enough to get a sample. That is your Foster Holly. And then next to it, we have a Dwarf Burford Holly on standard. Remember, we talked about plants being limbed up. A lot of this time it's done at the nursery. And they've actually, tree formed this Foster Holly as well. But please, please come and get a sample of that plant. As you can see, really, really tall. So you might want to think about not planting this plant as a foundation planting. I know it's used a bunch in the United States as that, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So we've got your Foster Holly, we've got your Japanese Camellia in the corner, and then just down on the other side of Hoosier, we've got your Camellia japonica. All right, class, I'm just down below here at Hoosier Hall. I'm gonna walk around and show you where the fall Sasanqua, or the fall Camellia Sasanqua, one of my favorite plants because it blooms at Christmas time. But it's here on the gravel path just around the back. Now, the good thing about this, guys, or team, we have a fall Sasanqua or fall Camellia. I keep calling it a Sasanqua, but a fall Camellia right beside a spring one. And we also have Akuba that is on this week's list. Now this stuff right here, whoo, I love it. We'll talk about that later. But we've got your Camellia Sasanqua or your fall Camellia right here. And as you can see, I told you in the lecture that we'd be able to see some remnants of the blooms that are still on it because it is a fall bloomer. But absolutely gorgeous. On standard, been pruned up. These things get huge. At the Heart's Garden, but it gets really huge. So I'm impressed with our fall camellias here on campus. More inkberries if you needed some inkberry samples. So really good stuff here. All right, HOR 160, we are in front of the tech building. And as you can see, we have Nellie R. Stevens. This is your Nellie Stevens Holly right here on the corner of the tech building. So we're right in front of Solace Creek Parkway. And so we have a grouping of 3 here, which you always plant in odd numbers. You would never plant in even numbers. We have some more Carissas there, but that is your Nellie Stevens. So walk up here and get a sample. Notice all the red berries. It won't be long, you'll see the inconspicuous blooms on this plant. It's been sheared, it's okay. They'll do that here on campus. But here is your Nellie Stevens. Here is your Japanese Cleara. We have one here on campus, right outside the door in horticulture. So when you're here for lab, just come out and grab you a sample. Start noticing that bronze color, winter color. Got some new foliage getting ready to pop on it. Beautiful, beautiful plant. I remember buying this last spring when they tore down the ones over by Winston Building. And then notice that Nandina. Is it not on fire? Absolutely stunning. Beautiful plant. And there are so many people in this world that actually do not like a Nandina. And I know it's not on this week's plant list, but I wanted to show you how beautiful it is this time of year. But that is your Japanese Cleara.